it's Hannah and I'm back again, and I'm so glad that you can join me for this video. This is the video that I've been promising to you for a couple of weeks now, that I'm going to go through my baby box of blankets very quickly. I don't have a lot of blankets, it's just blankets take up a lot of space. So I'm going to have a quick look through, see which ones I want to keep, let you know what types of blankets that I do keep, what sizes and styles, and what I use them for. And then at the end we'll just close up with my 10 best tips for new mums that in my last couple of years of experience with children and new parents I think are some things that will really help to make those first few weeks and months that much easier. So I'm glad that you can join me. I'm glad we're finally getting around to this video, and if there's problems with sound or the light, then I do apologise. I normally film in a different place and at a different time of day, and my camera is acting up a little right now. So if there's like weird shadows or colours, then I do apologise, and I hope that you can forgive me. We'll get it sorted out for the next video. So the 3 types of blankets that I keep are shawls and wraps, like large blankets with a hood or that you can swaddle a baby in, because for the first few weeks I think it's really important to swaddle a baby if that is something that the baby is accepting of. Some babies like to have their arms out or to be able to move their legs around, and then a swaddle doesn't work quite so well. I like to wrap them because in the room they're all wrapped up and they're all cozy and squished up, and it can help them to settle. They feel safe and warm and cozy, and it also means you don't have to wrap them in blankets or worry about the heating too much, because if you've wrapped them up and they're all tight and snuggled, then they're safe, they're going to sleep. You can easily check whether they're warm or not, and it makes nap times and bedtimes that much easier. However, not everyone will use the swaddles and the shawls that I do. There are a lot of self-fastening ones and ones with easy attachments with Velcro or buttons or poppers on. I don't have anything against those, I just prefer to use a traditional shawl, but I am used to swaddling with a shawl. So if you're not used to swaddling with a shawl, there is a skill that you can learn, but it doesn't come first time. You're not going to wrap a baby and suddenly it will be perfect. It takes a bit of practice. So my personal preferences do inform the choices that I make around shawls. With shawls, I have 4. I have 2 that I inherited, one from either side of the family, and I have 2 that I made. So I have quite a large bulky one that will swaddle anything up to 6 months. I could still use it probably with like up to a year. It obviously wouldn't cover their feet as much, but it's quite bulky, and although it's not warm, it's just very big. It's about 6 foot across, so it's a large swaddle, a large shawl. That's pretty good for winter because you can wrap like more layers in summer. It's a little bit more difficult. You've got to be aware of the fact that you've got that much extra material. I've also got quite a thick one. It doesn't quite swaddle very well because it's a little bit awkward, but I do use it as a blanket or just like in the summer to just wrap and tuck the ends in either side. So I'm going to keep that one as well. That's one that I've made. I've got a light blue one that I made as well. This one was supposed to be white, but it went through in a blue wash. So that's the pattern I've got on a lot of my shawls, the fluted edge. A shawl, traditional shawl, is basically, it's got a plain knitted, I don't know if you can see that there, a plain knitted centre, and then on the 4 sides, so it's a diamond shape or square that you then fold in half into a triangle. It's got this edging around the outside, and you just wrap the baby in it. And then I've got one I inherited from my side that is older than me, and it's quite a light one, but I do like to have a light one for summer or just for first offs. I would say that with swaddles and shawls you need to have at least 2. If they're the traditional type, then you definitely need 2. They're going to take a bit longer to dry. Some of the newer modern swaddles you can wash and get them straight back and tumble dry them without too much problem. I have got 4 shawls, and then I've got a hooded blanket as well, but I tend to use them in prams, so I'll keep one in the pram, I'll keep one in with like a sling or in my changing bag, and then I'll have 2 in the house. So I have one for nap times, one spare, one in a pram, and one in my changing bag, so that wherever I am, I know that I can wrap the baby up. I have a pink and a blue hooded blanket, just because that's what I've made. So moving on from there, we're going to go to the next set of blankets that I would use. So when I'm swaddling a baby, I'm also probably initially putting them in a Moses basket or some other sleeping area for them to sleep on their own. And this is a bit of a hot topic. Not all midwives like you to put blankets over a baby, but it does depend on the time of year. You can get advice, listen to family members, talk to your midwife and health visitor about what you should be using for your baby. It's always good to have a few blankets on hand, particularly if your baby's born in the winter, for when you go out in prams or slings or take them in the car seat, to have a few of those smaller blankets. Or if you have a colder house, which mine is often kept cooler than most people's homes, then it's good to have a few blankets that you can use to put over them when they're downstairs with you, or in the early days when maybe they're in a Moses basket, might need to be kept warm, maybe a blanket to put on the floor for them to lie down on. So there's many uses for blankets. I'm not saying anything is right or wrong. I am telling you that you need to listen to your medical and family team around you. Don't take my word as a reason to do something. I don't know your situation and I can't advise on what you should do with your baby regarding blankets. The advice does change a lot all of the time, so make sure that you're aware of that and you make an informed decision about that. For that reason, I'm not going to be saying how many blankets I would put on top of a child at any particular age. The most blankets that I would use before you give a child a duvet is I would put them in a sleep bag or sleep sack, or wrap them in like a cloth muslin blanket, and then I've used a cotton, a woolen, and sometimes a fleece if they're very cool. A fleece I would only put over their feet at the bottom though. And it does vary from age to age. Obviously I wouldn't be using all of those blankets on a child of every age. The size, the weight and the number will vary according to the age of the child. I am not qualified and I'm not trained to be able to tell you what blankets you should be using and to go on the internet telling you about that. So if you have any questions about what blankets you should be using and how your child should be sleeping, what you should put them down with, please do talk to family members, medical practitioners, people who are actually trained and have the information and knowledge to advise on that for your baby's safety and your peace of mind. So the blankets, the smallest size blankets that I keep are the ones that I would use on prams, car seats, carry cots. They're about 18 inches by 2 foot rectangles, and I have a selection of those. I've got them in pink, I've got them in blue, I've got some in neutrals. It really does depend what you want, if you want to have different blankets for different genders. I like to keep the first size blankets fairly soft and make sure that any blanket that I do use is going to be soft against the baby's skin. For that reason, I will pull out any that are slightly scratchy, that are quite heavy or chunky, or that have slightly rough fibres in them. So I have got 2 very light ones that I would use on a car seat or for babies to play on. I have 2 slightly bigger rectangular soft ones, and then I've got 2 a little bit bigger than that you can sort of tuck in and they will still be soft and warm, but they are aerated ones with holes in, like holes in the pattern. So that comes to a total of 6, 2 small ones, 2 medium ones, 2 slightly larger ones, and then I've got 3 like blue or neutral ones and 3 pinky ones as well, because I don't like to put pink over boys. That's just my personal choice. I like blue for boys and pink and purple for girls, but I'm a big fan of blue and I wear a lot of blue, and I have no objection to putting girls in blue or boys in like purple or red. Then I've got 2 larger square blankets and a fleece blanket. So a fleece blanket I would normally use to wrap baby up in if I was going to be outside for a while and it was cooler. So I've only got 1 of those because I wouldn't use it on a regular basis. So I'm going to pop those in again, and that is all of my blankets. So I've got 4 shawls, 6 of the like Moses basket, smallest size of blankets, and then 4 slightly larger square blankets. So I'm going to pop those back in, and then I will quickly run through my tips for new mums. Right, so having looked through the blankets, I've got a few tips for new mums. So some of these are things you will have to do a bit of research on. Some of them are things that you can buy to make this easier. Some of them are ideas to make those first few weeks easier on you physically, emotionally, and also practically. So let's get started. Tip number 1, puppy training pads. They are absolutely amazing. I use them for nappy changes, for if you've got a sicky baby, when you want to put them down on a floor that maybe you don't have a muslin, or the floor underneath is slightly more precious, maybe you're at someone else's house. Also for you in bed, if you're breastfeeding, you are going to leak during the night. Maybe you've had a natural birth and you're worried about leaking out of sanitary pads in the night as well. Also, before you have a baby, you might want to put them on to protect the mattress before, in case your waters break. Puppy training pads are amazing. You can reuse them time and time again, like a reusable or wipeable changing mat, but when they are dirty, baby leaks on them, maybe baby wheeze and you're pulling the nappy away and it goes all over the place, and you can just throw away the changing mat and they need to sort of wipe all of that wet or pooey gunk away. So puppy training pads are my first number 1 mishap. I always give them to new mums when I'm making a gift bag or gift pack up for them, because they do make things so much more easy. You can get them in most supermarkets, you can get them on Amazon. Just get a large pack, stick some in your changing bag, have some beside you. It'll make nighttime so much easier because you can do the nighttime change, and if baby leaks or anything, you've not got to change the bed or scrub the floor, you can just throw away the pad. Number 2, disposable underwear. When you're wearing a sanitary pad in the hospital, they will give you disposable underwear to wear, and afterwards it makes things so much easier. You don't have to worry about ruining nice underwear, you don't have to worry about washing the blood out of underwear or leakages or discharge. If you're wearing a sanitary pad, wear disposable underwear, throw them both away. It makes the washing easier. It means if someone else is doing your washing, they don't have to worry about seeing your underwear. You don't have to worry about people seeing your underwear or muck or dirt that you've maybe got in them. You can just use the disposable ones, throw them in the bin at the end of the day, all done and finished. Number 3, council run initiatives. Quite often councils do a £30 refund or encouragement for you to use reusable nappies. So if you're using reusable nappies, any supplies that you've got for reusable nappies, liners, wraps, boosters, cotton pads, the nappies themselves, if you submit a receipt of a minimum of £30, or with some councils a total of receipts, so a number of receipts totaling more than £30, they will give you £30 into your bank account or by cheque to reimburse you for the £30, so that fewer nappies are going to landfill. This is definitely something to look into. You'll often get a flyer while you're pregnant. You may see notices come up and flag up if you start looking at reusable nappies, but also you will get a flyer and a leaflet about this in your registration pack with some councils. It's definitely worth looking into, because if you do decide that you want to try reusable nappies, you can get a trial pack, or you can get a load of second-hand ones for £30 or so. Kick yourselves out, you get the £30 back, So if you don't get on with them, you've not wasted any money, you've not lost any money. You can sell or pass on those nappies without feeling bad that you have wasted that money. Unfortunately, for those of you who don't want to go down the reusable nappy route, this does not also count if you do disposables, and wipes and reusable sanitary pads are not covered in this initiative either. Definitely something to look into, particularly when baby's older. A single pack of nappies can cost up to £6 or even more. The lowest brand ones are £6, but higher up ones are significantly more expensive, and you may well go through a pack of nappies every week to 10 days in the first few months. So the expense does really rack up. A way to make this easier while still saving some money is to use reusable nappies when you're at home during the daytime. Use maybe 3, 4, 5 a day. Change maybe only when they're awake. So when they wake up from a nap, change them into a reusable nappy. Have them up for however long. If it's wet when you put them to bed, change them out of it, put them in a disposable. If it's not, leave them in until you get them back up again. Reusable nappies are good for 4 to 5 hours generally. It depends on the baby, it depends on how wet they're making nappies and on the fit and style that you choose. But it's a good idea to mix and use disposables overnight or when you're going to be out for the day, because it's a bit of a nightmare using reusable nappies when you're out and about. It's a lot heavier, there's a lot more to carry, and obviously you have to take home the dirty ones at the end of the day, and to then use reusable ones when you're at home and during the daytime. Number 4, I always advise that mums and dads look into parent groups in the area. I'm not talking so much about the teaching and the postnatal, antenatal classes, but more as a social group, getting together with other parents at the same stage of life or who've gone through that. Maybe parents who I've just left those stages and are able to offer you advice, newer mums or dads who want advice on things and want to talk to you, people at the same stage that you can see and compare your child to developmentally, to like reassure yourself that in actual fact every baby is different. Someone else's baby's doing this but not that, your baby's doing that but not this. Everything's okay. You can see them in an environment, and it's good for babies to be able to socialise, to be able to see other children, see other people, and a parent and child group is really good to do that. Often they're run by health visitors and the local council, which means at the same time when you turn up to a mother and baby group, you can also talk to a health visitor, you can weigh baby, you can address any concerns that you've got, and it's a really good way to just keep a finger on the pulse of what your baby should be doing, where they are compared to where they maybe are expected to be by you or by health visitors or other people, and just reassure yourself that every baby is different. It's also good to be able to go out and to talk, particularly if you're a stay-at-home parent. It can be quite lonely during the first few months as you're home with baby and baby's maybe sleeping a lot, or maybe you've got a baby that isn't sleeping and is fussy or awake a lot, and it can be quite draining. It's good to be able to go and to talk to people who understand that and are aware of that and are able to sympathise and empathise with you in a way that you know that they've been through that as well. Also, often councils will run first aid classes, which is a really great way to make sure that you have the medical knowledge that you need to be able to cope with day-to-day incidents and accidents around the house. Number 5 is like a really obvious thing, but take time to be with the baby. Don't spend all your time going out, seeing other people. Don't feel bad about getting other people to help with the baby, but also make sure that you are spending time with your baby. It's really important that you bond with this baby, you get to know this baby well, that they get to know you as their parent. You have this child and you are responsible for that child. That baby is dependent on you for everything that they need, for their food, for being warm and safe, for dry clothes, for sleep, routine, everything. And it's really important that you just take that time to put aside that phone, turn off the television, come away from YouTube or Instagram, stop scrolling, and just during the time that baby's awake, it's really good if you can take the whole of that time to interact with them, to spend time with them. Eye contact, physical touch is really good for babies and all children really, but particularly younger children, in developing core memories and in developing the brain and mental connections that they need in order to grow and develop to a high standard. Number 6. Spend time with baby siblings and parents as well. The new baby has come in and your focus is on that new baby. Make sure at the same time that your partner and other children and family members don't suffer. Make sure that you're not overdoing it, but at the same time also include the baby siblings. Don't make them feel like this child has come in and has taken their parents away. Children can get the wrong impression very quickly, so make sure that you're taking time to include them, that they're getting time with the baby, that you're reading to all of them together, you're playing games with all of them together, you're encouraging them and putting a very positive atmosphere around the baby and the interactions that you have with the siblings, so that they don't see this as something that is changing your relationship or taking you away from them. But also as parents, it's very important to make sure that you still have time for each other, and that this new step in your life and this new change doesn't ruin your relationships. It is give and take. There will be times when you're too tired to spend time talking to them, or you want to go to bed or things like that, but make sure that you take time to nurture other relationships that you have around this baby and to maintain a happy home and healthy interactions with the people that you're in contact with, especially on a daily basis. Number 7. Remember that the first few weeks, it's okay if baby spends the whole of those weeks in sleep suits. That's fine. I know that there are cute outfits out there. I know that you want to put your baby in these cute little things. Just let them spend the first few weeks in sleep suits if that's what you need to do. I'm giving you permission to take the easy way out, to put your baby in a bodysuit and a sleep suit, to put a blanket over them and call it amazing. That is fine. Babies look cute whatever they're in. People look at the baby, people remember the baby. They don't remember, oh, it was amazing, we went round and we saw this amazing dress, and and the baby was there and that was cute, but this dress, this set of dungarees, they were just so cute and I can't wait to see them again. People want to see the baby. And if what they're wearing is clean, they won't mind. Even if it's not completely clean, visitors won't pick up on it. And if they're worrying about you making sure that everything that the baby is wearing is spotless and that they never have the tiniest bit of dirt on them, then it's maybe time to draw a line, because you can't do everything. You can't make sure that that baby is always clean. That is a human being. There will be accidents. But it's fine for babies to live in sleep suits. Change it when it gets dirty, or change it every couple of days, whenever comes sooner. But it's fine not to get them dressed every morning and changed every evening. It's fine not to change them for every nap and dress them every time. That's stressful for baby. It's stressful for you. You're taking warm, comfortable clothes off them and putting them in something that's cold. Often the outfits that they make for babies are not comfortable to wear. They're not easy. If you think about it, if you're just tired and sleepy, do you want to be in your pyjamas, or do you want to be wearing your evening dress and tuxedo? Number 8. Woolen blankets and breathable cotton. It's really common for blankets that are sold to be fleece or fleece lined, or to have a thermal layer. They're all the cute ones. They're all the ones that are soft and you want to touch and you want to have your baby in them. There's one important thing to remember. They're not breathable. Something that is fleecy or fleece lined or fur or super soft fabric or things like that. They're advertised, they make you want to buy them, but they're not necessarily the best choice for your baby. Babies can't regulate their temperature, so they need things that are warm but aren't going to trap sweat near them. They want things that are going to keep the breezes and general cooler air, but they don't need the heat completely trapped around them. They need things that are breathable. The things that are great for this, breathable blankets, cellular blankets, cotton, light muslins, light woolen blankets, crocheted blankets, because they've got the holes in them. They have a structure that is intrinsically cellular and therefore more breathable. Anything that is real wool or synthetic fibres but not thick, that's still quite light. Choose those blankets over a lot of fleece blankets, because fleece blankets are not breathable, and it's also harder to breathe through them if they go over the baby's face, whereas muslins and woolen blankets, simply by the design and the way that they're made, have that additional breathability and are more safe for babies to use. So, number 9, look into a swaddle, sling, wrap, tricoty type baby carrier. Until your baby comes, there is no use in buying or investing in a sling. You don't know what the baby is going to be comfortable wearing. You don't know what you're going to be comfortable wearing. Go to a couple of sling libraries while you're pregnant, particularly your partner, if they're going to be carrying baby too. Try on a few, have the weighted dummies and baby models in. Make sure that you find something or a couple of options that are comfortable for you, that you're comfortable using, particularly with sling wraps and stretchy band wraps and the wrap slings in and of themselves. They're slightly more fiddly. You don't want to invest in something as expensive as that and then find that you don't get on with it or baby doesn't like it. Some babies, they have all the slings that are certified for like the M shape or the J shape or other shapes that babies are supposed to be in that are good for their hips and they're good for their knees and they're good for their backs and they're great for keeping them in you, and the baby just doesn't get on with them. And it's nothing wrong with you, it's nothing wrong with the sling, it's nothing wrong with the baby. It's just different babies like to be in different positions, and that's okay. You might find that one sling works when the baby's younger and another works when it's a bit older. Make use of sling libraries in your area. You can hire them for a week, you can hire them for sometimes a day. Some places, I do know of one that lets you hire it for an hour. Talk to friends if you've got friends or family who have slings, who've had babies. What are their recommendations? Will they lend you some to try out? And particularly if you're baby wearing, it's important to find one that's really comfortable for you, and whatever the claims are that it makes, that it's ergonomic or best for your back, if you don't find it comfortable, if it's not enjoyable to wear, you're not going to use it and baby's not going to be happy in it. So find something that works for you and wait until baby's there to actually invest in one that you like. When you find one that you like, then you can buy it. But otherwise you will end up buying so many different things and then changing them when baby comes. It's the same for breast pumps, slings, like backpacks, changing bags. Have a think, have a look at what you're going to need to take with you. Talk to people who have had babies and go from there. In my changing bag, I've got a traditional style changing bag with the bag and then the 2 pockets on the front. The 2 pockets on the front, in one of them I have nappy sacks, baby wipes and a small changing mat, and in the other I try to always keep 1 day's worth of nappies, so between 8 and 12, depending on the size of the nappy, age of the baby, how long I'm generally out for. And then inside the bag I keep a pack of muslins, the red book, underwear and sanitary pad for me, any medication that's needed, an extra scarf and a change of clothes for baby, normally a sleep suit and a bodysuit. And then I also put a hat in there. And at the ends, I will put things like Sudocrem, nipple cream, hand sanitizer, Bonjela. You can keep a dummy in the back. Just whatever you need, the very basics that you need, keep them in the changing bag. But have a look as to how that's going to look when you're buying a changing bag. Is that functional? Can you get to stuff, the stuff that you're using, like stuff for a nappy change? Is it really easy to just open it, get it out, put it back in if you need to? Or do you need to unpack your entire bag to get to it? So just because it looks cute, just because someone else likes it, just because it's all the rage right now, doesn't mean it will work for you. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or the baby or the bag. It just means that it's not something that works for you, and that's okay. Now, last but not least, number 10. Remember that the decisions you make about your baby, you make with you and your baby's best interests in heart. No one else has all of the information that you do. No one else knows what you're going through, how you feel at any given time. And other people's opinions are just that. They're opinions. You make the best choice that you can, the best decision that you can, based on the information that you have at the time. So feed how you want, dress your baby how you want, do the nursery how you want, buy what you want, borrow what you want. It's your baby, it's your family, it's your choice. Make sure that what you choose, what you decide, works for you. Because everyone has opinions. Everyone will tell you that you're doing this wrong, or you have to do it this way, or this is the right way, or this is the best baby, and you're failing if you don't do it. Society and even other mums are so quick to tell us that we are failing if we make this choice, or we are failing our child if we don't do this. And we're really not. Most of the time, we're struggling to do what we can. We're struggling to do the best that we can for our children, for our families, for ourselves. And we're not a failure because we don't feed our babies all organic. We're not a failure because the paint in our nursery is not vegan. We're not a failure because we can't physically cope with baby wearing. We're not a failure because we had a C-section or we weren't able to breastfeed. We're not a failure. We aren't. We're mums. We're looking after our babies. That is a demanding task, and don't let people tell you that you are making the wrong choice when it is something that works for you and that you feel it's the best decision that you could make. Just remember, it's your baby. You're the one that is having to go home with that child. You're the one that is up through the night with that child. You are the one that is feeding that baby. You're the one that is changing that nappy. You're the one that has to deal with the pain, the discomfort, the crying. If you make a different decision, you're the one that is in the thick of it, and you're the one that earns the right to make that decision, to make that choice, and to decide what is best for you. Everyone will have an opinion. Everyone will think they can voice it. But if you are doing the best that you can, if you are making the best decision that you can for you and for your baby and for your family with the information that you have at the time, that's the best you can do. So I hope that something in there was helpful. I'm so glad that you were able to join me to look at the blankets that I've got, and I hope that the tips that I have listed are useful to you, that they resonate with you, that in some way it gives you permission to be a better parent or to be more comfortable with what you are able to do. And I would love to see you again soon. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to my channel so that you never miss a video. As always, take care, and I will see you next week.